not going to worship the emperor. I've got freedom of choice. You just signed your death warrant. But you can't make it here to church regularly. Too cold, too hot. Now, I told you you weren't going to like this message. It was going to bore you, and you were going to listen with a closed mind, because when you do, you hear what you want to hear, and then that's the end of it.
Keep your ear open.
That's right.
There you go. Now, the same situation existed for three old boys by the name of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But they were smarter than you are today, because they said, I'm not going to worship the king, the emperor, but the God that I worship, I believe, can save us. However, here's what got the king's undivided attention. If the Lord doesn't want to, He doesn't have to. I'm not going to demand that He save me. But if I die, I know where I will spend eternity. Do you have that kind of information put away in your mind? Or is hell going to be a literal place for you? Now, we live our lives every day. Nobody likes persecution. And we don't endure it. But I'm asking you the question this morning, do I confidently, now listen to this, let you off the hook here a little bit, do I confidently serve Almighty God with confidence? And can I be ready in my life to endure whatever He sends into my life? We know not what a day brings. Are you prepared in mind and heart to meet Jesus if you don't make it home this morning?
Yeah.
You know, it's exciting to watch a foot race. Some people tell me, well, it's like watching paint dry or grass grow. Do you ever notice what a foot race is all about? Not a whole lot's required. The starting gun goes bang, a sudden burst of speed. You have to stand on your feet. The race is over before it got started. Then comes the other type of race. That's the one called the relay race. Now, when you take off on that after the gun is fired, when you're coming upon your partner who's picking up the pace and beginning to run, guess what happens when you're out of step? Have you ever thought about that? That sudden burst of speed, you're closing that gap, but you're out of step. You've got to hand that baton. What's your Christian life like with God? Are you out of step? When you need to hand off the baton, are you out of step with God? Then there's the marathon race. You ever watch it? Oh, look, they turn out by the droves. And when the gun goes off, they're all on TV and they're jogging down the broad highway, 4-lane highway. About 10 blocks down the road, the crowd thins out. 25 miles into the race, there's not a handful left. You know what sometimes living the Christian life is like? Those who are in the marathon who have to be helped across the finish line. Have you ever seen that? They have to be helped, but they are determined to run that race for Jesus Christ and win it. Or that kind of determination and honor that you have for Jesus Christ. Now, some people hear God's warning. Some people hear God touching them, calling them gently. but they're so stupid they can't connect the dots. God's made a statement. Hell is an absolute reality. People are sitting in the pews today and saying, it doesn't apply to me. It's going to happen to the other person. Listen real carefully, because I'm going to close this message. 26 years old. I mean, this boy's got a brilliant mind. He comes up with an idea that you need. It's something you have to have every day in your hand. It's that technology. Money was pouring in. His secretary kept buzzing him. Your next appointment's here. Frustrated, she opens the door, and there he lays on the floor, face down. 26 years old. Rich man. Here's a story about another rich man. You know him real well. You know the story. You can tell it to me. Everything, sack machines, the whole 9 yards, he's got it. But he wakes up in hell. 1 minute he was alive, the next minute he is in hell. Now let me tell you what I'm going to tell you today what preachers don't tell you about this man who died and woke up in hell. Write it down. There's no coming back. There's no getting out. And he looks across the great void, and who did he see? I mean, if you're in hell, this man's in hell, and he is more concerned about himself in hell than he is anything else, because he said, hey, Abraham, I got to have water. It's hot and thirsty. Give me water. If you're in hell, you're not going to get any water.
No.
But then, watch. After you reflect on something, oh, I wish I had been a Christian. I wish I had served God, but I'm in hell. You forget about it, it's over. If you haven't made the decision for Christ now, when you're in hell, there's no coming back.
Amen.
Now listen to this. See, he gets some thinking time now. Oh, Abraham, listen, brother. It's Wheel of Fortune time. Let's make a deal. I've got family, my babies, my grandchildren. Somebody has got to come back from the what? Dead, and tell my family hell is what?
It's real.
Real. It's a reality.
Yeah, it is.
They don't want to come here. You remember what Abraham said? What for? You so busy living a good life and going to the West Virginia games and partying all the time that hell is not a reality to you, nor church, nor anything else. The rules don't apply to me. They apply to everybody else. Is that you on the floor? At 26? Here's what Abraham told him. It's no use to send anybody back from the dead to proclaim hell as a reality, because even if you have that information and you see a dead man telling you that, you're still not going to examine the facts. You don't care. You're too busy living a good life. Paul said you need to examine yourself. Now here's where I'm going to close this. Do you understand what it means to examine anything? It means you discover something about yourself. It's a find. Now listen. Once you start to examine something and you make the discovery, you have to have an interpretation. Remember what I've told you all the time about the stop sign? STOP. It's got color to it. It does not mean sales tax on what? Pop. Now that's an examination. It's right in front of you. But you know only one thing about the word stop. What is it? Stop. But did you know that stop has 8 meanings? Look it up. And one of them means your progress, final point, stop temporarily. But that last one means, in the Webster Dictionary, check your progress. See, Satan don't want you to hear this message this morning. He wants you uncomfortable. I want you uncomfortable. There's not a soul in here this morning. You better check your progress and find out where you stand with Almighty God. Because you are only one heartbeat away from either hell or heaven.
Amen.
Oh, Roy. I wish you wouldn't preach messages like that. What? That bother you? That's why they're being spoken. I didn't want to do the message either. You can't imagine how many hours I spent. And you cannot imagine how agitated Satan was with me this week. Yeah, I've got kidney stones. I've got them in both sides. And I said, Lord, I don't got them, you got them. I haven't missed a service yet, have I?
Nope.
Amen.
Thank you,
Satan
Jesus.
tried again last night. If you won't acknowledge God in the manner and the way that He should be, then you're on the dark side. And men love what?
Darkness.
Darkness rather than the light. Folks, it's time to evaluate what you're doing every day. It's time to wake up.
Yeah, I got that.
It's time to stop. Check your progress. Where are you with your relationship to Almighty God? Every head bowed. Is He just second place?